Hi everyone and welcome to my morning report chart analysis videos on Tuesday the 11th of September with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Hantec Markets. We've got a relatively risk positive outlook to the markets today across the board. We've seen on Forex markets the euro and sterling both gaining ground. The dollar is a bit of an underperformer. You can see that in the fact that it's trading lower across the board pretty much on Forex majors other than on against the yen. So that's come as sort of an improved sentiment has taken hold. You've got suggestions from White House that a meeting, another summit is being prepared between the US and North Korea, so that's positive. And generally speaking, we haven't had any escalation yet, and I repeat that yet, of the trade dispute between the US and China. So subsequently, we've seen a little bit of risk positivity coming through. You had a decent session on Wall Street last night, and futures are higher. But it's interesting that the with the strength of euro and also sterling, we've got just a little bit of underperformance of, well, especially on sterling, of FTSE 100 anyway. But generally speaking, little real direction on markets today. Little bit of a positivity through Forex, but nothing too significant. Now, it's interesting that we've seen that the dollar has lost a little bit of traction from yesterday, and yeah, it's just sort of coming back again. Now, what we have got is basically we've got a margin, sort of a minor settling of sentiment. The Chinese yuan, little real move there, and you've got VIX volatility, which has dropped back a touch. So it just reflects this marginal improvement in risk appetite that we've got through markets. So we've got a bit of a focus on UK earnings growth today. That comes out imminently, so watch out for that. But generally speaking, we are sort of slightly risk positive, but without any massive direction. You've got UK unemployment at 9.30. Expected to stay at 4%, and average hourly earnings are expected to pick up on an ex-bonus basis to 2.8% from 2.7. Now you've got the German ZEW sentiment -14, so that's a slight tick lower from -13.7 last month. Any upside surprise on that would be beneficial for the euro. And also the jobs openings this afternoon are worth watching out for at 3 o'clock. So that takes me to my chart of the day, which is dollar Canadian dollar, or dollar loonie. And what we've seen is an interesting sort of mix of chart signals in the last couple of in the last week or so. Really, we had that breakout of the downtrend, of the two odd months downtrend. We had that rally that broke the downtrend. You also had a move above the 131 pivot line in the last sort of couple of months. 131 has been a reasonably good pivot, and that pivot became supportive last week in the wake of this bearish engulfing candle. However, the rebound on that support of 131 figure looks like it might well come under renewed pressure, as the market sort of fell over again yesterday around 132 figure, sort of possibly forming another lower high. And it's interesting that the momentum on the RSI failing again around the 60 level. So it would suggest this sort of fairly rangy and lacking of real intent behind the rally that we had from sort of ended middle of last week. And we could see the market now topping over. Now that pivot at 131 figure is worth watching near term, certainly, because if it closes below that, that would complete this little top pattern. But you've got the moving averages on the hourly chart all rolling over in bearish sequence now, and the more corrective configuration taking hold on the momentum indicators on the hourly. So it does certainly look as though it's possibly turning into something. So that support at 131 figure needs to be watched, and if it breaks that, you could certainly measure one big figure lower, maybe even 125 pips lower, as a little bit of a corrective move lower. It does take hold once more, but it's interesting that this is coming as the momentum indicators are all starting to sort of lose steam again. So with that in mind, I wish you good luck in your trading, and I will speak to you later.